again, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play the title track off of Taylor's new album, The Life of a Showgirl, on the guitar. Here's a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this video today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so we do have 13 different chord shapes to learn today to play this song, and I know that might sound a little intimidating, but I promise none of these are hard to play, they're just maybe new to you. There's going to be one bar chord, but I will show you an alternative so you don't have to bar the chord. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start with our first chord, which is our G major, which looks like this and sounds like this. And by the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, I do cover how to do that in my free beginner series right here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out right here. The next chord shape is our A minor. After that, we have our F over C. We also have our C major 7. Next is our C add 9. We also have our D major chord. After that is our C major chord. Then there's our D minor chord. Here comes our bar chord, which is our B flat chord. But again, if bar chords are hard for you, what you can do is instead of taking your index finger to bar like the whole fret, what you can do is just take it and fret this bottom E string on that first fret, and then just play the bottom 4 strings. Alright? The next chord shape is our A minor 7. We also have our G7. There's our D7. And then this last chord shape was a new one for me. It's a C minor over E flat. And those are the 13 chords you need to know to play through this song. So go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really look over all of these different chord shapes, get used to playing them, memorize them, practice transitioning back and forth between them. I know it can seem really overwhelming because it's a lot of chords, but you have to remember there is a key change. One little piece of advice is if you ever see a chord that has like trailing letters behind the main chord, so for instance C major 7, C add 9, you can kind of replace the variations of those chords with just that base chord. So like instead of C major 7 or C add 9, you could just play C. But for this particular song, I do think that all of the little sparkles that these different chord variations lend to the song really helps make it sound a lot more like how the original song sounds. So if you can, definitely try to take your time and get these memorized and, you know, add some more chords to your chord library. It's never a bad idea to be able to memorize more chord shapes. But once you have these chords under your belt, then we can go ahead and talk about the strumming that I would recommend for this song. So first things first, if you're a guitar playing Swiftie who also wants to sing on top of the guitar playing, and that's something you're currently struggling with, the first thing I would suggest doing is to bring up the song and go ahead and go through the entire thing with just a single down strum on each chord change as you sing through the song. And you want to take this time to really get used to what word or what syllable you're on whenever those chords are changing. So here's a quick example of what that would look like with the beginning. Her name was Kitty, made her money being pretty and witty. They gave her the keys to this city. Then they said she didn't do it legitly. Alright, so that's just a really quick example, but you would essentially want to do that for the entire song and just really make sure you know where those chords are going to be changing. And this is something you can actually do right now if you check out my Patreon page. I do have this entire guide available to download and print out, so I'll make sure to leave that link in the description box if you're interested. But once you've done this and you're comfortable with where those chords are going to be changing, then we can go ahead and add to this down strum to create more of a full strumming pattern that you can use for this song. Alright guys, so for strumming today, I do have 2 different strumming patterns I wanted to show you, but I am starting with the kind kind of longer, harder strumming pattern just because this is the main one that we'll be using through most of the song. So as you can see, it's going to be counted in a 16th note pattern. So if you don't know what that means or how to count that, I would recommend checking out my beginner series because I cover all of that over there. But basically it's going to sound like this. We have 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, a E and 4 and a down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. All right. If you're familiar with some of my other tutorials or other Taylor Swift songs, this is a common pattern that she uses in a lot of different other songs as well. So make sure that you just pause and take as much time as you need to really get that rhythm down. If you're already struggling with hearing the rhythm or being able to play it, I do have a Practice With Me strumming series on my Forever Faithful channel where we go over this exact pattern and build it up and speed it up together in real time. So I'll link that in the corner if you need it. But basically what we're going to do with this pattern is play it through one time per chord throughout the song. But there are going to be also places where we're going to split this pattern to play 2 chords within one measure, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at that first verse because here's a good example of that. We're starting on our G chord here, and for G, we're going to play through the entire measure. So we have down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. Then you can see here when we get to our A minor, there's this little like hash mark, and basically what that means is this is going to be part of a split pattern. So when I say that, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a little vertical line here after the first 2 down strums, and this is going to represent where I want you to change chords, okay? So for example, we have A minor to F over C. What you would do here is play the first chord, A minor, for the left half. So we have A minor, down, down. You want to switch chords at the line to our F over C and finish out the rest of the pattern on the right half. Up, up, down, down, down. All right? So you can see the rhythm is not changing. We're just switching chords in the middle of it. So all together we've got G, down, down, up, up, down, 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 up, to A minor, down, down, switch to F over C, up, up, down, down, down. So again, anytime you see these little hash marks on my guide, that just means that we're going to be splitting the measure. And again, all of this is listed and marked over there, so I would definitely recommend checking it out on my Patreon page if you're interested. But let's go ahead and put all of it together without stopping. We've got G, up, up, down, 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 up, A minor, switch to F over C, back to G, this strumming pattern, like I said, you can use through most of the song. So let's go ahead and take a look at a pre-chorus. Again, we're going to be playing this exact pattern. We're just going to have a few more split measure chords, okay? Waited by the stage door, packed in with the autograph hounds, barking her name, then glowing like the end of a cigarette. Wow, she came out. I said, you live in my dream, and she said to me. So there, glowing like the end of a cigarette, wow. We've got our G to our C major 7. That's another example of that split pattern. One more thing I wanted to show you guys is in the chord section, I showed you the G chord with 4 fingers like this. But I also will play it in this song with just 3 fingers without my pinky. So like I take my pinky off and then move my ring finger down. All right. Both of those are G chords. I like to use both depending on what chord I'm coming from or switching to. So just as a guitarist in general, if you can be a little more flexible with the way that you fret different chord shapes, it can really help you out a lot whenever you're playing different songs like this one. So anyways, that was the pre-chorus. That leads us into the chorus. And again, we're using this exact same strum pattern for the chorus as well. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. Sweeter than a peach, but you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe, and you're never ever gonna. All right. So again, the C add 9, the F over C to C add 9, that's another example of that split pattern. So again, if you have my guide, just make sure to look at all of the hash marks. That'll show you which ones we're going to be splitting in half versus the ones that are like clean without a hash mark. Those are going to be full measures, okay? So let's go ahead and go through the end of the first chorus into that second verse where Sabrina comes in, and there's a little bit of a chord change there. Wait, the more you play, the more that you can pay. Just softer than a kitten, so you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. And you're never gonna wanna. Right here after the C add 9, we're just gonna do a single C add 9, strum, and if you want to, you can tap your guitar the rhythm, babe. And you're never gonna wanna tap. She was a menace. This is where the chords change because we're doing a little bit of a key change, but even with the different chord shapes, the strumming is again still going to be exactly the same. So we've got C, down, down, up, down, 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 up to D minor, split to B flat, C, all right? And this is going to be for verse 2. She was a menace, the baby of a family in Lennox. Her father hoed around like all men did. Her mother took pills and played tennis. All right. And now the only place that I would kind of vary away from this strumming pattern is at the end of the second pre-chorus, like Sabrina's pre-chorus. Here on the line, but that's not what showgirls get. They leave us for dead. You're gonna be on this B flat. I would do a full measure. Down, up, down, 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 up. And then just for this leave us for dead line, I would do all down strums. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that'll lead you back into the chorus, and I just think it kind of builds up there and it sounds really good. So she waited by the stage door, asked the club for more to arrive. She said I'd sell my soul to have a taste of the magnificent life. It's all mine, but that's not what showgirls do. All down, they leave us for dead. Hey. And then back into the chorus and back into the full strumming pattern, okay? So this strumming pattern, like I said, you can use for the entire song. The only place that I would recommend a different strumming pattern is the bridge. So let's go ahead and talk about strumming pattern 2. All right, guys, so for the second strumming pattern, it probably looks way easier. I didn't start with this one just because I think it sounds good only with the bridge. But as you can see, all we're doing is one down strum on each beat for the quarter notes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the whole strumming pattern. Again, where I would use this is the bridge. So you can see here we're starting on our G chord. What I would do for the first half of the bridge is do a single down strum and then mute your string. And you're gonna do that pretty fast. I took her pearls of wisdom, hung them from my neck. I paid my dues with every bruise, I knew what to expect, all right? So here on the A minor 7 to the D7, again, those hash marks, because we're going to switch chords in the middle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all right? And that's how you can play through the first half of the bridge. I took her pearls of wisdom, hung them from my neck. I paid my dues with every bruise, I knew what to expect. You wanna take a skate on the ice inside my vein. They ripped me off like false lashes and threw me away. Right here on away, going into the second half of the bridge, this is where I would use this strumming pattern, which is we're just gonna kind of drum on all of the quarter notes, okay? Threw me away, 2, 3, 4. To our G7, 1, 2, 3, 4, to C. Our C minor over E flat chord. All right, so just all down strums on all of the quarter notes. Then threw me away, and all the headshots of the walls of the dance hall of the bitches who wish I'd hurry up and die. But I'm immortal now. Right here you can see all of the starred chords on my guide. That just means I want you to do a single down strum. But I'm immortal now, baby dolls. I couldn't if I tried. All right, so that's the bridge there. Again, the bridge is the only place that I would do a different strumming pattern. Those are the strumming patterns that I would recommend for this song. All right, guys, so again, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really get this strumming rhythm under your muscle memory. If you're somebody who struggles with playing guitar and singing on top of it, the thing that you have to be able to do is play through any strumming rhythm that you're working on through muscle memory, which means you're not counting it in your head, you're just kind of playing it like naturally without like thinking about it too hard. It's not until you can do that that you'll be able to put singing on top of it. So this song can be a little bit more difficult to put singing on top of the strumming, especially with all these chord changes. So again, if you need help with building that muscle memory, I would check out my Practice With Me strumming series on my Forever Faithful channel. But once you have all of this under your belt, then we can put all of this together to play through the song. 1, 2, ready, go. Want to have fun jamming out the rest of the song with me? Yeah! Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other Swiftie sing-along guitar tutorials. I've covered so many of her songs from all the different albums and eras, so if you're a Swiftie who loves to play her songs on the guitar, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I will link it in the description box down below. If you enjoy learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. Not only does it have a super similar vibe and feel, but it's just as fun and easy to play. So I'll see you over there. Bye!